This podcast was recorded on Gubby Gubby land and pays respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. Hello and welcome to the podcast, or welcome back to the podcast. If you're new here, welcome to our little space where you get to learn about your menstrual cycle and all the different things that I speak into, like women's wellness, mindset, all of the things. It's a super cool place to be. But I just wanted to, before we get into the actual topic of today, touch on the Pregnancy Diaries series that I was running on my podcast. And I think I only uploaded one to Spotify, which could have been confusing if you only tune in on Spotify. So my Pregnancy Diaries series, I actually ended up turning into a YouTube series. So if you head over to my YouTube channel, which is just Sacred Space Tanika Lace, like Sacred Space with Tanika Lace, you can go and watch those videos over there. If you're tuning in on YouTube, just check out my channel. And yeah, I kind of just kept it over there in one place because I just found that it was just a slay, and I just loved it over there. We love it over there. So today we're going to be talking about some tips and tricks to start living in alignment with your menstrual cycle / how to just honor each phase. I've gone into the cycle syncing in previous episodes. I've gone into the inner seasons. I've got loads of episodes all around like our womb and our menstrual cycle and all the things. But I just wanted to give you a quick little episode on one tip for each season that you can honor your body. So before we get completely into the topic, I just want to give you a little update on how things are going on my journey of pregnancy and just like where I am and all the things. And I think I've spoken about this in previous episodes, but honestly, I am just loving being pregnant. I've had so many realizations. I feel like it's just a portal of transformation, but I'm going to be really honest. I'm actually really missing my cycle. Of course, I'm not wishing for my cycle to come back. I'm not wishing for my pregnancy to be over, but there is just a part of me that is really missing this like cyclical nature that I am so used to living in alignment with. And it's just really shown me how embodied in my cycle I actually am, because going without it is just making me recognize how much I do miss it. And I literally just said it to Jai. I think I said it to him like a couple of weeks ago, but today in particular, I've just been started reading the book Reclaiming Childbirth as a Rite of Passage by Rachel Reed. And in one of the chapters at the very start, she was just talking, like, it's a brief introduction to like the menstrual cycle and all of the things. And I was just reading it and it's just making me miss my cycle so much. Like, I really do look forward to having my bleed back again. Obviously with breastfeeding and all the things, like I'm probably not going to have my cycle for a good while yet, but it's just really cool, I guess, to be in a place where I'm like, I actually really love my cycle and I love my period phase, and I look forward to that sacred time again when it is to come again. So that's just like sort of where my head's been at a little bit, is just understanding that like your pregnancy, well, my pregnancy, any pregnancy is like a cycle in itself. But yeah, I think a lot of women go through their life and like hate their cycle, think their period's dirty, think their period's a burden, all of these things. And it's just been really cool for me to actually see that like that doesn't have to be normal, and it isn't my normal, and really recognizing, like I said, how embodied I am in that is not my normal at all. And I just look forward to that when it returns, and I'm sure it will be completely different to what it's been in the past, because I'm going to be in my mother archetype rather than my maiden archetype. And I'm low-key really looking forward to just sharing that journey with you guys as well, in like getting my cycle back and all of the things. Other than that, I went down to Melbourne on the weekend, which was super fun. If you don't live in Australia, or like you've never been to Melbourne, just know that like it's not the typical like what you would portray Australia as. I feel like Australia is very like, you know, people think of like the beach and like wildlife and like all of the things, whereas like Melbourne is just freezing cold, but in summer it's hot, but it's like not the same as Queensland where I am on the Sunshine Coast. Like where I am is like usually all year round pretty hot. Like we still have cold winters. I'm not like saying we don't get cold, because it does get fucking cold, but like Melbourne is just like not a vibe weather-wise to actually like, people who live there and enjoy it, I'm like, you're a different breed of human, seriously, because it was 9 degrees, windy, cold, wet, but then the sun would just come out and it would be hot. And it's like, Melbourne literally goes through like every season in like one day, and it's really erratic. So that was still fun. We were visiting family and of course eating lots of food. We went to this place called Meet Me, and it was in Oakley, I think. And oh my fucking God, like if you like Greek food, you actually have to go there. Like I would fly to Melbourne just to go to that restaurant. It was so incredible. But that was a really fun weekend. And then we've just been getting back into the swing of things this week. I have been a bit tired this week. I wasn't sure if I was like burnt out, if it was like the flight or if I was getting sick. Jai started getting a little bit sick, which he hasn't been sick since 2018. So actually go off king. Like all through COVID, all through everything, he did not get sick. So that was like weird for him to get sick, but he's already over it. He got over it really fast. Anyway, I got myself a massage on like Tuesday or something because I had such a big day on like Monday and our flights were delayed and all the things. And then got a massage on Tuesday, and honestly, I just think body work is just so important. Like whether you're pregnant or not, like, and I always used to make it a ritual like around like my period phase or like my luteal phase to always get like some form of body work done. And honestly, it just plays such a huge role in just like living your best life. And I know it's not so much like affordable for everyone, but even if you just give yourself a massage, like it's just so grounding. Anyway, let's get into this episode. So let's start off with our period phase, which is menstruation. And a tip to honor your body and nourish your body in this phase. And I'm going to come in hot with what I just said, and it is giving yourself a massage. Now, for some people, this could be really triggering because you might not have a connection to your body in a sense that feels comfortable enough to kind of like actually like be intimate with your body, right? It might feel a bit uncomfortable, or you might feel a bit of shame come up around self-massage. But I just want to like be that permission slip for you that it's actually safe to touch your own body. And this doesn't have to be in a sexual way, right? Like this can literally just be, I'm going to have a shower and then afterwards I'm just going to find my favorite moisturizer or coconut oil or whatever it is. And I'm just going to give myself a little massage. I'm just going to drop into my body and I'm going to ground into my own energy. And that's all it has to be, right? It gets to be that simple. It gets to be like that. It doesn't have to be like a full body massage. Maybe you'll just want to like rub, like massage around your belly and just spend some time just honoring your belly, because a lot of the time as women we shame ourselves for the size of our belly. We think it's too big, we think it's too small, we think it's too tight, or we not tight enough. Like, you know, there's so many things that we like project onto ourselves and that society normalizes and doesn't normalize. So even just spending that time with your tummy and just honoring your womb for the cycle that she goes through every single month, and how incredible it is that your body is actually like doing all of this stuff and going through these sacred rites of passage every single month, right? So that can just be a really beautiful practice for your menstruation, especially because our womb expands in size when we're on our bleed. So there's inflammation in there, right? There's going to be some things going on. Maybe you potentially get cramping, and it's just a really beautiful way to honor your body. So self-massage it is. And then we move into the follicular phase, which is the inner spring, and a really beautiful way to honor this phase, especially if we're sort of like moving more into like the feminine direction of just like honoring your feminine energy. Do some painting. Honestly, watercolor painting, it's the most feminine painting that you could ever do, because you don't really have much control over it, right? But doing some sort of creation, maybe it's pottery, maybe it's painting, maybe it's drawing, finding what lights you up in that, but like tuning in to your creative energy, because in this phase we are in that energy of like new beginnings and of things coming into fruition and like planting those beautiful seeds to grow and blossom in the springtime. So a really beautiful way to honor this phase is by starting a new project, in particular creating. It's going to allow you to open up your intuition, really recognize like the actual goddess within you, like quite literally. If you feel disconnected from your feminine energy, pick up a paintbrush, pick up some watercolors, and just watch your imagination go wild. Maybe it's just mixing some colors, or maybe it's actually painting something meaningful that means something to you. Either way, it's still allowing you to tune into that energy and that vibration of creation. Number 3, but like the third phase of our menstrual cycle, which is ovulation. And this is our fertile window, and this is inner summer. This is a beautiful time to express yourself, and a way that you get, so a tip for this phase is by doing a dance party. Start your day with a dance party, end your day with a dance party, split up your day with a dance party, play your favorite song. It doesn't have to be like anything. It gets to be Rihanna, it gets to be One Direction, it gets to be The Weeknd, whoever it is that you love listening to. Put on your favorite song and just allow yourself to dance for the whole song. But that is the challenge, dance for the entire song, because a lot of the time as well, we can do like a 30-second dance and then it's like, cool, okay, yep, I've moved my body. Lean in a little bit more, dance to the whole song, lean in a little bit more than that and do it in public. Honestly, slay, like express yourself, be seen, but really allowing yourself to just tune into that expressive energy. Like, how does your body want to move, and like drop into the body in that, right? Like, get out of the mind and how you should look when you're dancing, get out of your head about how things should be and actually get into the body and just allow it to flow. I'm really counting down, but the fourth phase of the menstrual cycle is the luteal phase. So a hot tip for this phase, to honor this phase and to really nourish yourself in this phase, is by having a warm bath. Now, if you don't have a bath, can you set up like maybe a cutesy little shower date with yourself? But I just feel like water, that's what I'm trying to like get to here. Water is so intuitive. Water flows, water cleanses, water is a feminine force. So if you can get yourself in a body of warm water, perfect, especially with your body temperature dropping in this phase. Like, we want to be warm and like nourishing and feeling really comfy and cozy. But you know, if the ocean is what you're feeling called to, then absolutely slay the day away and go to the ocean. But warm water to really nourish your own energy, to allow it to cleanse away all of the things that may have come up throughout the cycle. Because remember, the luteal phase is a time of like closing. It's a time of closing loops. It's a time of ending. So we don't want to take with us into the next cycle any icky energy. And this is a phase where a lot of people can feel super ungrounded and feel like they're lashing out, blah, 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 because you're less inclined to people please in this phase, right? So like, you're going to have like a shorter temper. Shadows are going to come up. It's a whole thing. I'm not going to go into that. But taking a bath, a really beautiful ceremonial bath, where you just spend time with like some crystals and candles around you, or like I said, in the shower, maybe you just have some crystals in the bottom of the shower, candle lit bathroom, and spend some time with the water, imagining that it's just washing away all of the shit, washing away all of the emotions that just don't feel aligned with your higher self, and allowing you to just feel super grounded in your own body and your own energy, and follow it with a journaling session. Honestly, like, such a vibe, such a huge vibe. So that is my tips for each phase of your cycle, so that you can work in alignment with your cycle. But just a couple of like hot tips, try these in your next cycle. If you want to go deeper in understanding the phases of your cycle in cycle syncing, you want to understand what cycle syncing even is, you want to start taking a holistic approach to your wellness, I'm going to leave the link to my website below. If you just click through to my main homepage, there's going to be a pop-up come up and you can download a free ebook, which I have created, which is Living in Sync. So it's all about cycle syncing, the phases of your cycle, tracking your cycle. I have holistic wellness tips in there, and it's just a huge vibe. So definitely download that. That's for free over on my website. And yeah, if you have any questions around this episode, or you have anything you want to share with me, maybe you give these tips a bit of a go, jump into my DMs on Instagram at Tanika Lace. I would love to hear if you already practice these things or if you're going to implement them. And don't forget to share this episode with your sisters, with your friends, with your mom, with your aunties, anyone in your life, any woman in your life who you know could do with some support in supporting their menstrual cycle, so that they feel supported by themselves, connected to themselves, and you know, we can say bye to PMS, we can say bye to feeling really crap throughout our cycle, and start living in alignment with our cycle, because it is actually life-changing and it gets to be easy. It doesn't have to be a burden, and cycle syncing is just such an incredible way to strengthen your mindset and just live in alignment with your higher self. So don't forget to send this through to someone who you love and care about, and I shall be back in your ears next Friday. I love you so, so much, and I'll chat to you then. Bye!